past the hour of 9. You're still live on 3FM Sunrise. On 3FM 92.7. A very rambunctious start to yet another working week. Thank you so much for deciding to start your day with us. It is the best breakfast show in all of the land. We're switching gears right about now. We want to talk about our recent power crisis, the resolutions and control mechanisms. I've got in studio Mr. Awal Sakib Mohammed. He's the president of the Ghana Electrical Contractors Association. He's here in flesh and blood. Awal, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
We were just saying it's been, exactly 1 year since we last had an interaction around this time. Ready for the Salah celebration. It's coming up very shortly. Hope you've been keeping well. How has the fasting period been for you?
It's been an interesting one. I mean, fasting renews your faith. And Alhamdulillah, we've come this far. And today, across the globe, we will be seeking for the moon. If it is found, nationally, the National Chief Imam has issued a publication which is to the effect that Eid's celebration will be on the 11th.
That's right.
And so we're hoping that everybody will get ready towards that day.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the celebrations that ensue. But how easy is it around this period if you're having to contend with Dumsor? In some quarters, if you mention Dumsor, they say, well, Dumsor is not even really back like that. But we are feeling it. It goes off and it comes on again. The Ghana Electrical Contractors Association, you are proposing some resolutions that could potentially see us, turn our power issues around. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can check out that press release, and it's titled ECG Request Tariff Increment from the PURC to deal with Forex challenges. It's dated Tuesday, 2nd April 2024. And I think I can read the first paragraph and then we'll get into some of the resolutions that have been proposed. We've had discussions about our recent power challenges, in the last couple of weeks, especially given what we're experiencing and some of the reasons that have been given to us. We've been looking at it very closely to see what exactly is going on. But the statement reads as follows. The first paragraph, or the first two, we'll take it from there. The Ghana Electrical Contractors Association, GECA, has taken notice of a recent report circulating on social media concerning the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG's proposal to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, for a tariff increment to address Forex challenges. As prominent stakeholders in the power industry, we are acutely aware of the detrimental effects that Forex instability not only has on ECG's operational efficiency, but also on businesses at large. Given the myriad of challenges confronting businesses, particularly regarding the reliability of electricity supply, we contend that granting the proposed tariff increase would exacerbate the existing burdens on both businesses and citizens. Our firm conviction is that what ECG requires at this juncture is not merely another tariff hike, but rather a multifaceted approach encompassing the following. Before we even get into some of these recommendations or resolutions you think will help us as a people, especially to reduce the burden on our pockets of both private individuals and businesses, what is the mandate of the Ghana Electrical Contractors Association for the uninitiated who want to know more about what it is that you do?
So Ghana Electrical Contractors Association was established in 1948 as it's a member-based association. We basically ensure the interests of all electrical contractors in Ghana. We've been doing that very well over the years. We have championed several legislations in this country. We currently have a representation on the Ministry of Energy's advisory board. And then when it comes to Energy Commission, some of the industry persons who sits on their interview panel, that certified electrical professionals, we are highly represented. We have representation at Ghana Standards Authority on the IEC committee and so many other institutions. So we basically are the voice of the industry when it comes to the practice itself. Yeah.
All right, now taking note of the recent happenings with the power outages and some of the reasons that we've been given, from where you sit, what do you make of those? So, weeks gone by, ECG had mentioned, faulty transformers and the like. Well, Gridco has come out to say it's an issue of gas. We're told in some quarters it's localized issues. From where you sit, what do you make of some of the reasons that have been given to the people of Ghana?
So, frankly, the reasons sometimes sounds a bit funny. All of us know what the problems are. Fine. The main problem is money. Now, some of the reasons that ECG has given, some of them are true, but they are not the main cause of what we are facing currently. We have localized challenges. Fine. In your community, when your lights goes off, if it doesn't extend, if you come out and you don't see it extend beyond a certain reach, it means that it's localized.
That's right.
And that localized one, you expect the nearest ECG office to be able to deal with that. That is acceptable. But when you have a large community going off, then it calls for concern. It goes beyond just a normal technical error into something else. Yeah.
Especially because of the pattern that we're seeing. You can gauge it. It's going off for long periods of time, especially at peak hours. And that's why Ghanaians said, no, this looks like Dumso. It smells like Dumso. There's a saying, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's most likely a duck. What are some of the resolutions that you are proposing?
So our point is that ECG doesn't really need increment in tariff. Now, PURC has their own mechanism which they use to adjust tariff. So we are of the view that we should allow that mechanism to work and not come up with any special increment. This country, sometimes when matters come, people try to test the waters. If nobody says anything, and before you realize there's a hike and all that. We have been in touch with PURC, and we know that they have their own mechanism, which mechanism takes into effect several factors, including forex losses, technical losses, and all that. So to come out requesting for special increment based on tariff, based on losses, forex, we think it's not the best. Now at this juncture, we think that even if the tariff is increased, right, ECG will come back again to discuss the same forex issues and all that. Now you have about 30% losses in whatever in your system.
Right.
When ECG takes maybe 100% of power from the IPPs, 30% of what they take, they lose it.
In fact, it might just be a little bit higher, something like 34%.
Yes,
told, right?
yes. So you lose over 30%. Now the question is, how come? How does it happen? We know most of them are as a result of people not paying for the use of electricity.
Power theft.
Power theft. Some of them are not actually power theft. There are faulty meters. There are a lot of faulty meters in this country. Some of them people have actually reported to ECG, but they are yet to get the meters replaced. So now, if you have a plan to generate a certain revenue, and you have people faulty meters, and the meters are not, it's not like the people have been cut off supply. The people are using it. The meters are not able to record it accordingly. If you go to areas like cantonment and all, there are houses that have a lot of meters that the meters are not functioning. And so it is not that the people are not willing to pay. The people are willing to pay, but except that the person who is supposed to regularize their status is not doing.
Well, that's good context, because we often talk about power theft, but actually what you're saying is that it's in some cases sheer inefficiencies that is causing this wastage. So the meter is there, the people are willing to pay, but they're faulty, and nobody's attending to that, and we're losing money.
Yes, it is. I can point several situations to have several instances where I can walk you straight to one or two places that the meters are not working. People have reported, and nothing seems to be done. You understand? So that is important. And one very worrying situation is also that today, if you apply for service as a business, or you build a huge premises that you require your own substation, the amount of money ECG will require you to pay, even when you have bought all your equipment, transformers, poles, cable conductors, and all that, the amount of money that ECG will require you to pay, you have no idea. A standard, let's say 500 kVA transformer, for instance, ECG will require you to pay over 130,000 cedis, which is what they call developmental fee or capital contribution and all that. So people find it difficult paying this.
That's
so some
right.
of them, instead of paying, will go to one ECG engineer or manager and connive with him, and then they will be put on the already burdened distribution network. And it puts a lot of stress on the distribution network, which causes a lot of losses. So that losses, who pays for?
So then, so that is your point one. You say implementation of effective and efficient revenue collection mechanisms.
Yes.
Okay.
So revenue collection mechanism. For instance, last night around 3:30, my power went off. I was not getting, for several days, I was not getting notification on how much how much I've had remaining on my meter and all that. Before I realized the light is gone off. I tried to buy some within the same period, midnight. The light is no, as at the time I was leaving home, my light was off. So it means that we don't have an efficient system. Now, we started implementing this prepaid metering several years ago. Until date, we're still having challenges. So why is it? There are other places, you go to other countries and they are implementing it very well. So why is it taking us too long to be able to get it right?
The challenges are too many, and we hear that day in and day out. Your point two says deployment of a comprehensive loss reduction program.
Yes. So now, when it comes to ECG losses, some of them are technical. The technical are within your domain. You know what they are, and you can correct them. So we are saying that the losses as a result of obsolete and sometimes faulty equipment on your network. So what you need is investment. You need to invest adequately so that you reduce the losses as much as possible. And to do that, you have to have a plan. You cannot just, put one transformer here, put another transformer. No, you have to have a comprehensive plan to be able to reduce your losses as much as possible. That is the only way you can reduce the technical losses. Yes.
And for the final point here, you say adoption of prudent strategies for managing the company's limited resources.
Madam, you owe. But then you owe people you are not able to pay to the extent that it's difficult for you to even pay salary. And we hear that you've gone to buy over 200 plus motorbikes for another government institution. So it doesn't make sense to us.
Not a prudent way to spend your money.
How can this be? You owe people, you owe your suppliers, you've not been able to pay them. And then you hear that you've gone to buy another set of motorbikes for another government institutions and all that. It doesn't make sense. You go and you find ECG employees flying first class and all that, going for training outside the country, which doesn't make sense. With training, you can equally, ECG has one of the best facilities in Tema. Right. You can bring down whichever trainer locally so that they provide training so you make some savings. There's just too much mismanagement within the activities, I tell you, madam.
Well, time check, it is some 17 minutes to the top of the 10 a.m. You're still live here on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We're just wrapping up on this conversation with Mr. Awal Sakib Mohammed. He's the president of the Ghana Electrical Contractors Association. They're reacting to ECG's request to the PURC for some tariff increments to deal with forex challenges. And they've given some solutions that the ECG can pay attention to ensure that we're not continuously losing out on monies owed to the ECG to the detriment of businesses and private individuals alike. I'll read your concluding paragraph on that release and then we'll wrap up on this one. So it says, in conclusion, we urge careful consideration of alternative strategies to mitigate the impact of forex challenges on ECG's operations, emphasizing the importance of sustainable solutions for the benefit of our nation, for God and country. I will also summarize for us, what are you hoping to see in the coming weeks and days?
And so one of the key things we think would help ECG in managing its losses is a deployment of what we call maintenance program for contractors. Today, when there's a serious fault within certain communities, our members help ECG. Some of our members actually help ECG to correct the fault. They most of the time do it pro bono. And so if you know that these guys have the expertise to help you reduce the losses, why not come up with a comprehensive where you know that, for this community, this contractor is in charge of maintenance, so that it reduces the pressure on you as a business. You have very few downtimes when it comes to outages and all that. So we think that is one of the areas that if we look, it will help reduce downtime. People will not complain too much. If you say it's localized, give the job to somebody else who will do it, because the longer your system goes down, the more revenue you lose. So give it to a contractor who you will not pay too much to be able to maintain the system and ensure that you generate the right revenue. Yeah.
Absolutely. Awal, thank you so much for your time this morning. A pleasure, as always. Wishing you a happy Sanla in advance. But of course, we're watching this quite keenly, so I know we'll be interacting in due course. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.